Hey guys, in lesson 6, we're going to be talking about ordered pairs, domain, range, and relations. So the first thing we want to do here is label our graph. We need to know the specific parts. So if we look at this line that's running horizontally, the horizontal line is called our x-axis versus the vertical line, the line running up and down, that is our y-axis. And the point right there in the middle, our 0, 0, that is our origin. And now we have our quadrants. We have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Now, be careful. I don't want you to even write this down, but just watch. You do not want to write a 1, 2, 3, 4 in numerical numbers. Again, don't even write this down to confuse yourself. If you wrote the regular numbers, we would mark you wrong. You must use Roman numerals, so the I's and the B's. And if you ever get stuck remembering what direction, where they go, know that you start in the top right and then you make a C. Follow your C around and that will label all of your quadrants for you. Okay, and this whole picture together is called the coordinate plane. So that whole picture will be called the coordinate plane. Next up, we have our x-coordinate. Anytime you see two numbers inside a parenthesis separated by a comma, the first number is your x-coordinate. Second number then would be your y-coordinate. And to get, so, like an example here, if we had 1, 4, the 1 would be your x, the 4 would be your y. And that whole thing together is called a coordinate, or an ordered pair. So 2 correct names for those. Okay, now that we know what everything is, let's play with them a little bit. So talking about relations. A set of ordered pairs such as 2, 3, 3, 5, 4, 1 is a relation. So your relation is a set of ordered pairs. A relation can also be shown in a table or a graph. The domain of the relation is the set of x coordinates, and then the range of the relation is the y coordinates. Now that we have some definitions here, I know the words are a little hard to squeeze in, but make sure you get relation, domain, and range in there. Let's work with them. So in our first example here, we have ordered pairs 2, 3, 3, 5, and 4, 1. The domain is 2, 3, and 5 because they are the x coordinates. So the first numbers we see the x coordinates. So then the range is 3, 5, and 1 because they are the y coordinates. Now we could rewrite this as a table. So in our table, our x values are 2, 3, and 4. When our y values are 3, 5, and 1, we want to make sure that we match up the correct x and y values, going back to these points from the beginning. Remember, your x is the domain, and your y is the range. So far we've shown it as ordered pairs, we've shown it as a table, and then finally as a graph. Now going back, if you don't remember how to graph these, if we go to 2, 3, always count your x value first. So we would go to the right 2 and then count up 1, 2, 3. Same thing with our 3, 5. You go to the right 1, 2, 3, count up 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then our last point to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, and up 1. So that's where those 3 points came from, in case if you don't remember how to graph. So that's 3 different representations of that same relation. Now we want to express the relation 0, 2, 1, 4, 2, 5, and 3, 8 as a table, then determine the domain and range. So the first thing we're going to do is write this out as a table. Our table up here was set up vertically, this one's set horizontally. So when x is 0, y is 2. When x is 1, y is 4. When x is 2, y is 5. And when x is 3, y is 8. Well, if we go back to our definition, we know that the domain is our x values. So your domain, we want to use these funky squiggly brackets here, are 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then our range, again, same squiggly brackets, would be 2, 4, 5, 8, and close our brackets. Make sure you have those brackets in there. You must show the representation. All right, so jumping right along. We want to write the letter for the ordered pair at 7, 3. So some more practice with that graphing. 7 is my x, 3 is my y. We know this is our x-axis, here's our y-axis, so that tells me to go to the right 7, so pop over there. And then rise 3, 1, 2, 3. There he is. Point N is found at 7, 3. I then write the ordered pair that names point M. Well, here's my M. Looks like I'm up 5 and right 2. We know that we have to do our x value first. So point M is at 2, 5. Make sure you have parentheses around it as well. All right, so just a little more practice with the graphing there. And last up, some more graphing. Write the ordered pairs for each point on the graph. Find the domain and range of the relation shown in the graph. So this is just some more counting. Now notice, on our x-axis here, 1 is actually only a half. If you move to the right 1 box, it's only a half because the 1 is 2 boxes over. Again, move 2 to get to the 2, 2, 2, 2. Versus our y-axis is going much faster. If I go up 1 box, I really went 2. So if I go 2 boxes over, that's really a 1. And it looks like I'm up 1 and a half, but I have to double that. So there's 2 and another half will give me 3. So my first point would be 1, 3. Next point, I see that's at 2. I'm up 6 and another half, so that's at 2, 7. Looks like my next point's at an x value of 3. And I'm up 8 and another half, so 9. And a point at 4, up 12 and another half will give me 13, so 4, 13. And our last point, we're at 5 and 16. Finally, one that's on the line. Okay, so there's all of our ordered pairs. So our domain, going back to our definition, our domain inside of brackets is our x values. So if I go through, do a quick highlight, my x values, that's our domain. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and close our brackets. So then our range, we'll do that guy in blue. Again, brackets. Our range is our y value, so do a quick highlight. Whoops. I'm going to highlight that in blue. You guys have highlighters and want to use them? Absolutely. If you don't, that's okay. So going back through, we've got range values of 3, 7, 9, 13, 16, and close our brackets. Okay, so there's your domain and range ordered pairs working with graphs. And for our now you try, basically going through and doing exactly what we just did on that last problem. I want you to write the ordered pairs for each point on the graph, then find the domain and range of the relations shown in the graph. You do not have to write the graph. I just want you to label your ordered pairs, your domain, and your range. So those 3 words right there. All right, so pause this until you're done, and that's the end of this lesson.